rundown. We're live. Paul, just keep telling people to walk by. We're in San Francisco, Super Bowl week, JV Super Bowl. So what we're trying to do is get a feel. Yeah, keep on going. Feel for the city. We don't have studios. We don't give a fuck. We're just going to, we're on the Golden Gate Bridge. This is a big symbol. We're going to keep going.
If you couldn't tell, we're on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, just keep them walking here. Let's go. Are we good, Hank? Are we good? All right. Let's start. This is an impromptu one for you guys that I came up with. You're not prepared for this question, but you can see Alcatraz very clearly. Let's assume that there's no sharks, because that's the big thing. Can you swim from Alcatraz to San Francisco? Hank, can you get it? Do you have a panorama? Do you have a pen? You guys can walk.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Gaz, keep them walking. Damn it.
What about the water temperature? It's cold, too.
No, assume I'm just talking pure
bathtub?
endurance.
Yeah, I could do it. I could do it.
No, this is my reason. It seems like the whole structure, the reason why they would have done it would be based on the fact that you can't do it.
It's not that far from Alcatraz to San Francisco.
How long would it take you?
No. Quarter mile.
How long would it take you?
It seems like the whole fundamental principle of Alcatraz is that
ridiculous.
you wouldn't be able to swim across.
25 if I was feeling lazy, wanted to doggy paddle a
The
little.
answer is if there's no sharks and the water temperature is right, you just kind of float your way in with the currents. It would take 2 hours and 45 minutes. Paul, can you please keep these people walking? Jesus Christ. One goddamn
Still
job.
difference.
Let's start with Ted Cruz all over the place. Ted Cruz, two things happened on the cruise. First, he tried to kiss his kid, wanted no part of it. Disaster.
Ow.
Good jump.
And then I believe somebody in a press conference said, Ted Cruz, you're so gross, you're so ugly looking, you make me want to barf. A real tough week for Cruz. Big Cat, what do you got?
The problem with Ted Cruz and the daughter thing is, how old is his daughter, like 12?
She looked like, I'm spatially very bad with that, but I would say...
Between 8 and 16.
Yep.
You can't even be risking that. Kids at those ages, they don't like their parents. Every kid goes through that phase. You can't risk that if you're Ted Cruz. The heckler saying that his face was so ugly it made him want to barf was such a vicious thing to say, because as you know, like the media day last year, you only get one shot to get your question or your statement in, and he used his one shot to tell me he wanted to barf from his face.
Caleb?
I think the president is one of the few, actually there's a lot of them, but in theory, few positions that you actually have to be good looking. Because you really, for diplomacy, you have to go and talk to people who don't even speak your language. Really, all they have to go on is if you're a good-looking guy, or they can at least palate your existence. So yeah, I think he should be better looking. I agree, he's not the best. Maybe consider someone else.
I actually think it's much more important to be tall, and I'm not a tall guy. I'd like a 6'8" president, so whenever you're in conversations, you're just like looking down.
She was a little...
Like that. I think that would make a huge difference.
But you can't have a barf face. Like, people can't look at your face.
He has a barf face.
I know he
by the
does.
way.
That's what I said.
He actually looks like a cartoon.
Yes.
Before he's been cartoonized.
If you look at his face long enough, you could puke. That alone, I don't care how tall you are. If you have a face that makes people want to vomit just from looking at it, like I know a few people like that, you can't do that.
I'm on my left side, so my left side is not barf-worthy. Sometimes my right is. My left is actually Bradley Cooper. I watched Limitless on the plane, and I actually felt like it was my life. Like seeing somebody with a huge brain when it's opened who looks like me, I'm like, I'm watching myself. I could almost, if there was water, do the skydive scene. No, you can go. Keep it up. Speaking of politicians being harassed, Donald Trump had a tomato thrown at him. Two, actually. One borderline hit him. He turned it around, and this is why I'm voting Trump, because the way he yelled, "Get that guy out of here," was what I need as a president. I'm still Team Trump. President. I'm still Team Trump. I'm curious to hear your take on Trump. I know you're anti-Trump. You're Middleman Dan, you don't want to get caught in the
No, I don't.
caught with.
No, I think he's a buffoon. I
you don't
told
want
you
to
already.
get caught with your hand in the Donald Trump cookie
I already
jar.
told you.
I want my hand
It's like
in
the
there
opposite of
trapped.
middleman. I think Trump, I think Hillary, I think Bernie, I think Cruz, they all suck. That's the opposite of middleman.
I disagree.
Okay.
Who do you have?
This is what I think. I think Bernie, one, is already separating himself across the board. Bernie's separating himself from Hillary, everybody else.
Dude, that guy's going to take so much of our paycheck, man.
But you know what he is? One thing you can say about Bernie is he's
Sharp
a fam
looking
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
He thinks everyone should be, and that's something we've been talking about since we've been here, is how much it is important to be a fam guy, and that's what Bernie is. He represents
You
that
keep
across
saying
the board.
fam. I will say this: if Bernie Sanders elected president, then you're all fired because I only make like 3
Right, I know.
cents.
That's my point.
He's a
You
socialist.
don't want him. He's going to take all of our money. It's
All
a
of
bad
our
idea.
money.
Did Trump?
Huge Cruz guy now.
Did
Just
Trump
changed.
needed to throw the tomato back?
It
That
didn't
would have been.
get to him.
He can do whatever he wants at this point.
Trump should smash the tomato on his head. Next up, Cindy Crawford retired from modeling at age 50. Now, you're probably. Are you like?
I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, that's because you're so young. You're just
I
a
did
pup.
Google search her. She's cute.
Cute. She's the greatest who ever lived. Period.
She's older now, though.
Her daughter looks exactly like her. She'll be version number 2. It was
Another
a weird
Google search
retirement,
coming
though,
soon.
because like I'll still take pictures, but I'm not modeling. Why do you have to retire from modeling? Chrissy Brinkley, who, if you're going to have a heavyweight fight with maybe 2 of the greatest icons, legends in the history of the game. Speaking of that, you know that Plano, Texas football game, the one that has the crazy like comebacks where they were down 41-17, Plano, Texas versus Mojo. Cujo.
Is it an old?
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yes, on YouTube. Yes.
They
played at the old Dallas Stadium.
Yeah, and they're trying to do a best of times where now they're older and
What
playing
does this
each
have
other.
to do with Cindy Crawford?
Legends of the game.
Okay.
It was ESPN Classic on the plane. Cindy Crawford. It was Cindy Crawford versus Chrissy Brinkley, 2 rivals like Plano, Texas versus Cujo. I have nothing else on that subject. I kind of went on a rant. It's loud. It's tough to concentrate, but we are doing this live.
I don't understand. I thought she was retired. This is like can't remember who did this. Maybe it was Allen Iverson who like retired 2 or 3 years after he hadn't played. I can't remember who did it. It was someone did that. A player, maybe it was Chad Ochocinco, or someone was like, "Oh, I officially retired." Like, dude, you've been retired for 3 years.
And also, you wouldn't think that models would have like you don't need to retire. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's a fluid
Right.
schedule.
Right.
Exactly.
You could not do anything for 2 years and then do something, and you're still a model.
And she specifically said she's still going to take pictures.
so I'm still going to be a model.
Fake
Right.
retirement.
She didn't want to reinvent herself, but what she do?
And to tie
Reinvented
this full
herself,
circle the JV Super Bowl this week, her Pepsi commercial is maybe the most famous Super Bowl commercial of all time.
Oh, I have
Speaking
seen
of commercials, Bud Bowl, I don't know why they stopped doing that.
I don't know why they stopped doing Bud Bowl. I don't know why they stopped doing the What's Up Lizards. Come on. I don't know why they got rid of what's his name, the Bud Dog. What's his name?
Paul, can you tell this guy he can pass? Is this guy's just...
He's not- What's the guy's Spud? Spud McKenzie. Should bring back Spud McKenzie. Bring them all back.
Last one, John Scott. Dick. John Scott, hockey. Big story. None of us are hockey guys. So the background on this, if you don't know, he's an NHL enforcer, a fight guy. The NHL fans kind of fucked with the NHL, voted him into the All-Star game. Gets traded from Nashville to Montreal. They send him to the minors so he can't make a mockery of the game. People get outraged. They hate Gary Bettman as much as they hate Goodell. And then,
One word.
You're welcome. And then he becomes the MVP of the game, 3-on-3. This is all the long way of me saying, and I know a lot of hockey purists aren't going to like this, hockey should be 3-on-3, period. The 5-on-5
That's
garbage is so boring.
3-on-3 is great, but if you did it all the time, it would be a totally different game. I love it for overtime. John Scott, though, that's like he's
What about making smaller goalie pads?
or making the goals a little bigger.
Yes. Can I?
I'm okay with more scoring.
Packer fan. All right, so now
What is he
if we're
doing here?
keeping score at home, there's been 8 Patriot fans, 1 Packer fan, 1 Dolphin fan, 1 Buffalo Sabre fan, 0 Panther fans outside of Caleb, who we flew here on our own dime, so he doesn't count.
Drove.
And 0 he drove, and 0 Bronco fans. Do not tell me the Patriots don't matter, because they do matter, because ticket prices are plunging. Nobody cares about this game. I don't see anybody else on the Golden Gate Bridge filming this. Back to hockey.
There's a lot of Panthers players here.
There are a lot of Panther
How many
players.
Pats players?
There's none. That's why I didn't want
Something
you on
to
the
consider
rundown.
going
though.
forward.
This is Caleb. Just so you know, you're going to get the Dave Portnoy effect all week. When it's not about him, he'll make it about him.
It's not about me. Anything else on the rundown that we haven't talked about? It's kind of a slow day.
Ready for Super Bowl week. Hey, you want to hear a fun fact?
Oh, quick update on. You go ahead. I cut
Okay.
you off. I want to let you talk.
The Golden Gate Bridge is so big that they are always painting it. So when they start painting it, they paint the whole thing, and by the time they finish, they got to start repainting it again. That was a fun fact.
There was a rumor that I was going to go to Michigan signing of the Stars. That is not happening. I want to address that rumor. Michigan football owes me $3,000 because we bought round-trip tickets, and then they told us we couldn't film because the Players Tribune, which is a bunch of crap, has exclusive rights. Nobody gives a fuck about Derek Jeter and his little Players Tribune. But that's that, so we're here all week.
That Michigan football thing was played into your ego so perfectly, where it was like Brady, Derek Jeter, Ric Flair, and then for some reason you thought you were invited just the same.
Well, they did invite me. McShay's going.
I
What's
think
he? How's he
I
belong?
think he's a journalist.
I'm not a journalist.
Not a journalist.
Quick observation of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's
Not ethnically diverse.
I was actually going to say this, and I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. My favorite group of women, attractive-wise, Asian women. My least favorite group of tourist Asians. They're just so aggressive in your face, and it's 97% Asian on this bridge right now.
In their defense, in the defense of the Asian tourists, we are standing in the middle of the bridge with a microphone cord going across, tripping people, and filming stuff. So I'm going to give him a pass on this one. I'm going to say that we're probably the assholes here.
That's because you're middleman Dan.
No,
I'm not
that's
gonna
not
give
a
him
middleman
pass.
thing. We're
I'm
the
not giving
assholes
him-
right
hey,
now.
Hey, look at me. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not.
We are the assholes.
I'm not.
Did you want to talk? Are we going to do the after show with Hank?
I kind of lost.
Whoa!
Did we
that
get
was
that?
a Cali, bro.
We have that?
He just hopped the cord.
That was some shit. No, I don't think we have to do Hank. Hank's too tired. He can't speak for himself. He's been up. Hank goes to bed when we put him on the bus. He doesn't sleep. And he's running low on Adderall, and he won't give us any.
Wink, wink, people in San Francisco.
Honestly, earlier, Hank, you said we'd get in big trouble if we asked for Adderall.
I'm not asking for Adderall. I'm saying Hank's running low on Adderall.
I'm going to need a lot of Adderall because the water pressure sucks in our apartment. The beds are actually comfortable, but you can hear a mouse drop, pin drop, and that's all I got. So, no, I'm done. Do you guys have any last? Oh, a couple more Asians to add to the
You got
total. Any thoughts? Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts, Caleb?
Yeah, big week for the Panthers. If you're following Barstool, it might not seem that way, but it actually couldn't be further from the truth. Huge week for the Panthers. We're going to take care of business on Sunday. I've converted Big Cat. He's going Big Panther the rest of the week. And Dave, we've been trying to introduce him to the idea of family and everyone existing on like an equal plane of power dynamics. You can't do it anymore if you're in the fam. Are you with it? What are your thoughts on fam so far?
I think it's an inside joke that I'm getting made fun of. I've said that multiple times.
No, it's not.
No.
All right, then fine. Yeah, I'm part of the fam.
Good. So we'll get Dave going.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a monumental moment right here. I think that might have been the most important thing.
What was that?
That was your Panthers growl?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a monumental moment that just happened.
Let's do best Panther grow.
All right.
Oh, that was bad. That was
All
pretty
right.
good.
That's the rundown.